this. All right. So it's been a minute. I haven't really got into a lot of things. I've been uncertain of what to say and how to word things. Let me make sure that my mic is working. Hold on. Let me make sure my audio working. Um, because I want to make sure that I can hear myself. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm good. Okay, cool, 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 cool. All right. So basically, it's been a minute. I've basically recorded a few videos. I've screen shared, basically content that was already, out there. And my whole thing, first and foremost, was just processing the information. This is definitely about Tanzania. And my thing first and foremost was just to process it, knowing which direction to go. Um, to keep it 100, I'm still like a little baffled, but I just feel obligated, inspired, and encouraged and a nudging to just say something. Because at this point, the reason why I even chose to just screen share a lot of my information, which I mean, not even my information, right? Just to screen share a lot of the content that has already been out there, because it's brought to my attention that so many people that I even spent time in Tanzania with that are Americans or that spent time with people in Tanzania that I spent time with that are Americans that are here in America, they don't have no earthly idea what was going on. You know how algorithms are. If you're not tuned in to that thread, then you're just not gonna receive the information. So I was like, yeah, if I can just basically essentially copy and paste just by virtue of getting the information out there, I was like, I just felt like that would be sufficient for now. Now, in addition to that, I am gonna continue to do that. It was also it's a little difficult for me to interpret everything that's going on. I don't know Swahili well enough where I can share every single thing that I'm hearing, and thank goodness for Kenya, because they speak a lot of English and Swahili, obviously. So, but to be transparent, well, first and foremost, anybody that has paid attention to my channel and you've really paid attention to my channel, you already know I was on Samia over 3 years ago. And really, that's because when I was in Tanzania, I was not among the locals. I wasn't. When I was in Tanzania, I was, excuse me, when I was in Tanzania, I was among the locals. I was not among the diaspora. I was not among the diaspora. So my relationships are with Tanzanians. That's how I was able to gain the information I was able to gain. Uh, what has transpired up until this point right now, because I know people and I checked on them, and even the process of checking on them, they brought some things to my attention. They willingly shared some information, and it was just like, wow. Now, I I feel like there's more than enough information out there on the internet that a person can come to conclusion of what's going on. So I feel like an obligation personally to share. And the reason why I feel an obligation to share is because I spent time, I lived among them people. I traveled among those kakas and dadas and BBs and babas and babus. You know, I mean, I was there. I took public transportation, whether it was a boda or I can't even remember the name of it, but sometimes the little bus and things of that nature, or even the ferries when I lived in Kingaboni. So by me even having, relationships with people, like this is different. Um, I mean, as they say, it's no place like home. But by the same token, you know, this is like this is different. I spent over a year and a half in Tanzania, you know, and like I said, that's a long time for me. That's a long time for me. And one of the things I do when I travel, I not only do I ingratiate myself in the culture, but I also take the time to try to do my best to build relationships with people. And I'm smiling even now because I'm thinking about being in Arusha, in Kwame Fru, and walking down. Like I stayed back among the people to the extent that just to get to the main road, I had to walk a good, I ain't gonna exaggerate, depending on which direction I went, it was still at minimum a 5 to 10 minute walk. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's African living, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? So, and the reason why I smile is because I was just thinking about how, one of the butcher guys, his shop at the end, short guy. They just always give me five, smiling, talking to me. Um, Not that I know of and I'm aware of. Nobody ever tried to do any harm to me. Um, uh, you know, I can even go as far as say they kept me safe. You know, so to see them going through what they're going through, just by the means of wanting things to be done in a righteous manner, I gotta stand up and talk. I wish I had a larger platform, and I wish many of these content creators that do got a larger platform talk. Um, I don't respect them for it, but I'm not even gonna spend much energy on that right now. Um, hey, I will say this though. I employ I employ all the Tanzanians just like you've been encouraged by your brothers and sisters from the north. And I'm gonna get into Kenya because Ashima Sana Kabisa. I'm so proud of Kenya because so often for so long Kenyans get well, I don't personally like the beef, that's traditionally been there between Kenya and Tanzanians. And so often have viewed Tanzanians as a mdogo kaka, as a little brother. But I tell you what, man, this is one time where I say salute because they're doing exactly what a brother do. They doing exactly what a unkuba kaka should do, and that's step up. Say, look, ain't nobody picking on my little brother but me. You know how that is. I got little brothers. It is just like they are protecting their brothers and their sisters, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of Kenya for doing that because I mean they brothers and sisters ain't got a voice and that's what you do for those who don't have a voice. You do that for your younger siblings, you step up to the plate and you advocate for them and they're doing that. I'm so proud of Kenya for doing that because hey man, what's going on in Tanzania needs to be brought to the light of the world. It needs to be brought to the light of the world. And it's not just about, oh, it's an internal thing. This is Kenya's business. If you're a foreigner, stay out the way. First of all, man, just just stop being scary. If you scared, say you scared. As the old sayings go, you know. Because there's too much clear evidence from what's transpired and what's still going on that let's expose this, again, that's the reason why I'm playing videos on repeat. I'm literally playing videos on repeat because I want this to be exposed. The information got to get out there. The African presidents are not going to talk about it the way they should, um, because it's not in what they consider their best interest. Because their best interest is just that, how to get interest, how to gain interest. And they would do the same thing that Samia's doing. And so that's why they're sitting back. I'm gonna tell you what they're doing. They're sitting back and they're just waiting for the. They're hoping that it just blows over. I personally think, again, because of Kenya and just how they have stepped up to the plate, I personally think that it's not just gonna blow over. I feel like this got to be dealt with. Well, we know it has to be dealt with. I feel like it's going to be dealt with. And again, that's why I'm on a live with just me right now. I'm looking at how many people in the chat. At least let me like my own content so I can hold on for a second. There we go. Let me like my own content so maybe it can help the algorithm. But I'm going to share this information because it needs to be brought to the light. You know, I don't want to spend energy on talking about what other people are doing and what they should be doing, and what they shouldn't be doing, because there's a time for that. When I get a greater audience, I'll talk about that. But as of right now, I want to say again, big ups, big ups, big ups, big ups, big ups, big ups to Kenya. Kenya's doing their thing. Kenya's doing their thing. Um, Kenya is going hard for their brothers and sisters, and right now it appears that that's pretty much all that Tanzania has. Um, but hopefully, I mean, hopefully it's enough, and until it's more traction. There's a sister. Um, I could share this. I could go a different way of sharing this. I just went live just to talk. I'm not even gonna try to share different things right now. First and foremost, for the simple reason there ain't nobody but me in here. And then in addition to that, I mean, there's information where there are people who are essentially being exiled. You have a sister that I knew about from way back in, I mean, at least of 2021. I have to look up to see how long she's been living outside of Tanzania, but she's a Tanzanian. And check this out. Now, the numbers that are being reported, we all know there are more. By the way, I've heard 300,000. I've heard no, I didn't. Well, yeah, I did hear 300,000. I heard a million on one platform, and I just was like, I was just letting it process. I'm not trying to validate or dispute anything, but I just had to let that process because it was so overwhelming. But earlier today, we saw the mass graves of 3,000 people. Again, this is about Tanzania. I gave this a title, Free Tanzania. I'm just trying to make sure that, yeah, Free Tanzania Part Two. So I basically I took the time to make sure that as much as possible that I could put the information out there and just try to get it trending. That's why I ran a stream on a loop. Then my internet went out and I had a something scheduled that I had needed to attend, and I had to come back get my internet squared away, and the loop had ran its course, etc. But I'm doing my best to get this information out here because I'm gonna be transparent with you. I've like shed a couple tears, man. Like um, this is sad. Like that's why this information needs to be out there because like what's going on and inspiration and big ups. Even though Dr. Mumby is a Kenyan, big ups to Mumby. Big ups to Mumby. She's great with her words at times. And man, she said some things. Right before I even jumped into a meeting earlier today that I just had to I had to put it to the side and just go off and go into my meeting. I couldn't even listen to it no more because again my heart was just like I was about to start crying again. So I was just like, bro, I gotta put this to the side because this is too deep. So Big up to Dr. Mumby Shiraki, and she's about that life. She's lived it. You know, just recently within the last year, it's been an attempt on her life. You know, right there in her country, that's north of the country. So again, that's why these African presidents are being so silent at the time because to a degree they want this to blow over. It is our responsibilities as caring humans. If you don't care, we know why you're not chiming in. But it's our responsibility as caring humans to keep traction on this thing. We cannot let this die out. We can't let it die out because if we let this die out, it's going to be a lot of people that are going to be suffering. It's going to be a lot of people that are going to spend time in prisons for the rest of their life. It's going to be a lot of people that are going to be executed. It's going to be a lot of people that are going to come up missing for no reason at all. And that's already been the case. It's already been the case. It's already been the case. So again, we got to get this we got to get this message outside of the continent of Africa because right now, yeah, it's doing a hell of a job trending in Tanzania. It's doing a hell of a job, excuse me, trending in Kenya because they you can't. They got Tanzania on lockdown. It's gonna be on lock for a minute. I don't even really ask any questions. If they volunteer information, which some of my brothers and sisters have, then I take it and I put it together. But outside of that, their safety is priority. So that's just what it is. And speaking of such, another reason why before I even saw about the graves, it being 3,000 bodies in one grave. And before I started seeing other information, even today, I knew from the jump that there was many, many, many people that were missing and unfortunately murdered for the very mere fact that everybody that I had reached out to and spoke with, they know somebody who's basically been murdered that's passed away. So if you got people that you're reaching out to and that you're talking to and those people and it's consistent, everybody knows somebody, you're not going to tell me it's 700 people. It's no way it's 700 people. And everybody knows somebody that's passed away. Come on, man. That's cap. That's crazy. So again, where's this information? What's transpiring? Where's this happening at? It's in Dar es Salaam. It's in Arusha. It's in Mbeya. I mean, I just covered damn near the whole country when you look at it from a top to bottom standpoint. If you want to go west some more, Mwanza. But I mean, like, and it's crazy. I mean, I'm hearing reports and I've heard these basically since I first started chiming in on this about almost a week ago. I'm hearing reports that they're dumping bodies in the ocean. I already knew it was well over everything that they're talking about. When they told me it's two things that really jumped out at me. Again, this is about freeing Tanzania from this dictatorship under Samia Lulu Hassan. It's two things that jumped out to me. When I was told several days ago that they're dumping bodies in the ocean, when I was told several days ago that it's the police that's doing it. Because when I first saw images, I was like, okay, I know over there the military were green. The police that are like patrolling the neighborhoods were white. And um and who else? Military, um, police that patrol the neighborhood, and who else would it be? Oh yeah, and immigration. And immigration wear blue. So when I was seeing the green, I was like, well, this is military. But then when they told me it's police, I was like, hell nah, it's no way this is the police. Cause I'm like, the policemen, they got to go back to them same communities. It's no way the policemen are going to be doing this to their own people. No, not. And then okay, so I saw that for what it was, and then I saw the headshots. Now, when I saw the headshots, I knew what time it was because I was like, oh no. Like, I mean, let's just keep it a buck. I don't even know if they got training on that level. Speaking of the policemen, where everybody that's getting taken out is from a headshot. So I was like, nah, it's more to this. It's more to this. So, and then when I was told by, local people that they are going in the people's house, I said, these are mercenaries. These are mercenaries. But again, it's so much misinformation. And what I mean by misinformation, I'm speaking about like I get what some people are trying to do. And I praise them for that. I praise the Kenyans and even the Tanzanians for wanting to get enough traction where it catches the eye of the outside world. I applaud them for that. This is why I'm doing it. But they're putting things like US Senate, comes down on, Samir, U.S. Senate charges Samir. They're saying like Donald Trump. They're showing images on thumbnails. Donald Trump has said, enough, Samir, and it's like so. I have to take time, look at this video, see if something's transpired, and then obviously just go on the internet and start using some keyword searches to try to find out what's going on. Is it taking traction? And unfortunately, nothing's really taking traction. Again, reason for me doing this live and the other videos. So I say all that to simply say this is that, you know, I applaud the Kenyans. Keep doing your thing. Keep putting the energy into getting this information out there. I'm asking the YouTubers that have spent significant time in Tanzania. Um, and I mean, you quantify however you want to. A year, let's just say a year. I mean, like, can you find it in your heart to talk about this? Or do you serve 2 points? More important? Is your interest in the ability to travel back to that land more important than the value of those people's lives? I'm gonna say it one more time. Is your interest and desire, because it's a beautiful land. I may never go back there. I damn sure enough ain't going back there while Samia's in charge. Hell nah. Shit, I got a little ass channel, but nah, F that. I ain't doing that. So, but I can live with that. See, I can live with that. I could live with that 3 years ago. That's why I put them videos out there. I knew why she was paying Diamond and the other artists. And I told the people I could bring up the video now. I bet you that video ain't even get 100 views. Matter of fact, just for as they say, shits and giggles, I'm going to bring it up and take a look at it and see how many nope, there we go. How many videos did I get? And I don't care if people unsubscribe. I ain't doing this for subscriptions. So I don't give a damn. People can unsubscribe. They can do whatever they want to, because this is more important. And that's probably why. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's some fake ass, scary ass YouTubers with big accounts unsubscribing from my channel, because there are some YouTubers who have big accounts that I've met. I'm talking about over 100,000 subscribers that may be unsubscribed because they don't want to be affiliated with me. But I don't care. And I'm not going to spend a lot of energy trying to, you know, get at them. But the fact of the matter is just as simple as this: is that there's gonna come a time where you're gonna regret your decisions. I don't know when it's gonna be. I ain't trying to be no prophet or nothing like that. But so let me get back to some of this information. I'm just curious to see how much, how many views when I put that video out there before. No, maybe it was a lie because I can't. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. That's one of them. Didn't even get 100 views. They didn't get it. Like I said, neither one of them got 100 views. I could take 3 videos where I do have one that I titled Tanzania, they are coming for your soul. 2 years ago. It's probably gonna be 3 in another month in December or something, because I made all these videos around the same time. Tanzania, they are coming for your soul. 3 years ago, basically. I know it's gonna be next month. And that one got 125 views. What am I saying? Think about it. How can I put out information that's so relevant now, but it's not catching the algorithms? You know, like Jada can say, how do I be saying the hottest shit, but I be selling the least? You know what I'm saying? So, y'all can just take that for what it is. So, getting back to my next thing in terms of I'm going to continue to stream and put information out here to gain traction. Hopefully, we can get the people to be able to tune into this. I understand if Tanzanians are unsubscribing because, hey, they are. This is whatever that guy named in North Korea, Kim Jong Un or whatever his name is. That's what it's like over there. That's exactly what it's like over there. That's exactly what it's like over there. So until we get this information out that it could catch the people, we're talking about they've just got to the point where they're saying that it's 23,000 people at least that's been murdered. We're talking about in 5 days. We're talking about 23,000 people in 5 days. And that's without the press even being able to step into the country. Now, think about that. That's without the press being able to even step in the country. We're talking about 23,000 people. So we know it's way more than that. Unfortunately, it is 6 figures, man. And these are young people. These are young people with so much life ahead of them. You know what I'm saying? But hey, when you get a military personnel to have the boldness to get on camera and put out the information like I love my land, I love where I'm from, just like I love where I'm from, and to say, look, your government is stealing from you. And again, I'm gonna get back into this government stuff because it ain't just it's not only just Tanzanian government, it's not only just East African governments, it's the world governments. That's why I'm telling you, they know what the fuck's going on. They know what's going on. It's the world government. They don't care unless they have a reason and a purpose to move right now. That be the only way they'll move. That's why the obligation is on the people to get this information out. Because don't get it twisted. Every government, to a degree, every government is too broad. I got a book. I did a video on this book as well. Is government the biggest scam in history? Government, the biggest scam in history. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna sit this up here and talk for a little bit. But government, my fault. Government, the biggest scam in history. So what am I talking about here with government and the biggest scam in history? And why I'm telling you the governments are actually sitting back and they're hoping that this just kind of blow over and just be African politics as usual. Because this shit wouldn't fly in the West at all. But unfortunately, this shit is all the time over there. So my point is that even the outside governments, they're not quick to move either because many of them would do the same thing. America's done the same thing. Look at 9/11. Research 9/11. Go look into a video called Loose Change. Loose Change. Loose Loose Change. If you go look up a video called Loose Change, you will be able to see how 9/11 was an inside job. And at minimum, 3,000 people were murdered on that day just for an agenda, just to have a reason to go fly across the water to the quote unquote Middle East, Iraq and Iran, and set up shop and to go declare war on those people. So I'm telling you, governments, all of them, are the biggest scams in history. See, I ain't come here to just talk about, one sector. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna roll the bowling ball and knock down all nine pins at one time. I'll say it again. I ain't come here just to talk about one sector. I'm just gonna roll the bowling ball and knock down all nine pins at one time. Governments across the world, they move like this. This is what they do. But we, the people, got more power. What I want Tanzanians to do, I want you all to find a way where y'all can. I want you all. Unfortunately, I know freedom, and this is so so sad. It requires in so many cases bloodshed. It's difficult to say that. I don't say that loosely because these are lies. These are lies. So I don't say that loosely. But my point is that I want the people who are rising up to find a way to go about doing this where it where we can limit the casualties. Let me say it like that. I want them to find a way to do this where they can limit the casualties because man, I saw one video that was it was chilling and I don't know, this he's definitely not out of his 20s and you can hear the guns going off in the background just pop 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 and he said why you he was like he said we gonna die. He said I don't care. He was like, "Why you killing us? Why you killing us?" You know, man. And he was on TikTok, and man, that's people children, that's people brother, that's people daddies, man. Like this is real to me. You know, I don't give a fuck if I do only got myself that's watching right now and a couple people that have come on for a second. They only probably spies, and then two people that unsubscribed already today. I don't give no shits. Like I'm gonna do this because I got personal relationships over there, and it's messed up. It's messed up what's going on over there. And all you other scary ass YouTubers who are not taking the time to bring this to the attention, shame on you. Shame on you YouTubers that have created great platforms off the content of Tanzania and the beautiful beaches in Zanzibar and the beautiful water and the sand and the beautiful landmass, Mount Meru, Mount Kilimanjaro, but you can't take the time to bring this issue to the people's attention. This issue is more important than your damn subscribers. This issue is more important than your subscribers. This issue is more important than your ability to go back to Tanzania one day. It's more important. I don't care if I'll never get to go back to Tanzania again. This is more important. Like I said, I got personal relationships over there. I know people over there. And even the people that I don't know intimately, it's just the genuineness and the interactions and the peace that it brought me at that time. I would be less of a human if I didn't take the time to speak on this subject matter. I'd be less of a human, man. Like, how can you see people being genocide? Because that's exactly what it is. How can you see all these people being murdered? How can you see 23,000 people? And that's just what they can mark without being able to go into the country because the press still can't go in there. People still can't get boots on the ground and validate this stuff. So this is just what the locals are basically able to get through the bushes and take their videos and send back to people. We're talking about they found the grave earlier today that posted that it's 3,000 people in one grave. Over 3,000 people buried in one grave. Again, I'm not doing this for subscribers. I done lost subscribers since I done started doing this. I don't care. I talked about this woman 3 years ago because I knew what type of time she was on. And you know the only reason why I was able to talk like that because I spent time with the locals. I knew what was going on. I just ain't got a large enough platform to grab no attention. Some of y'all got large platforms. Stop being scary and go do something righteous. Stop being scary and go do something righteous. Y'all got the platforms where y'all can bring the attention to this nonsense. This woman needs to be charged with treason because she definitely has turned her back on her country and her people. And just like she's sending people away off with their head, essentially, figuratively speaking, with no trial, because we see them being hauled in. We see one woman doing a video one day on TikTok and being hauled in on a bus barefooted into the prison the next day, the next time we see her. This stuff is real. And let me tell you something. The reason why I keep holding this book, the biggest scam in history, is for the simple fact about being governments, because all governments will do this. See, y'all scary ass think that it ain't gonna happen to you or it couldn't happen to you. And I ain't even doing this because of with the having foresight in mind. I'm doing this because of my heart for them, because if I did this about every government who do this all the time, this is all I would do, unfortunately. But my point is, stop being scary. You got content creators with over 150,000 subscribers making content on this matter and being very light with it. Just, trying to say, hey, we don't get in other people's politics. Man, stop being scary. Stop being scary. You have the audience, use it. You have the audience, use it. Like I said, what I really want the people of East Africa to do, that for those people, just like y'all are doing those so-called entertainers like Diamond Platinum and the other ones that have turned their backs on you all and they're not representing you all, I want you all to do the same to these phony YouTubers who spend time in your countries talking about how much they love you, how much they like being with you, how peaceful it is to be around you. And they've had all these things to drum up and say, but oh, in the meantime, what have they done? They haven't spoken up for when you need them the most. They hadn't spoken up for when you need them the most. So, what I want you all to do, I want you to stop following them. I want you to call them out. I want you to put the pressure on their neck, because unfortunately, we live in a day and age that people don't move, and I'm talking about across the board. It's sad. We're talking about everybody from the top of the governments, everyone's from the top of the government officials, all the way down to the person who only got 750 subscribers like me. But it ain't me in this case. But they don't move until someone basically put that pressure on them. They're like, hey, we need you to go this way so it can be more favorable and look like this. We need you to stop doing this so it could be less favorable and it won't appear to be X, Y, Z. Look, enough is enough of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? As my favorite orator Malcolm X say, I'm for justice, no matter who's it for, and I'm for justice, no matter who's it for. I don't care who they are. I want to be on the side of righteousness. And as far as Tanzania is concerned and what's happening to those innocent young lives, I want to be on the side of righteousness. So if you got people that you know that are not talking about this subject and they have spent significant time in East Africa, they've tried to tell everybody how much they love it, how it's the place to be, how you should come there, but they're not touching on this. They're not speaking up when you need them the most. I'm telling you, put them on blast. Unfollow them. Just like you're doing your entertainers who now you realize they don't have your back. I told you 3 years ago, my videos on my channel, that Samia was paying them to influence y'all. And now y'all see it. I saw it 3 years ago because I'm 46 years old as of next month, and I've been studying and looking at this stuff for a long time. So I'm here to tell you now that unfollow these subscribers, get in their comment sections, Talk shit to them. Get down their neck. Let them know that you do not appreciate and you do not like how they have come and they've built their brands off your country. They've built their brands off the beauty of Kilimanjaro and Mount Meru and Arusha and the women in Dar es Salaam and the beauty of the waters in Zanzibar. They built their countries off all that their content, and they haven't even taken the time to basically show up when you need them the most. I got 750 subscribers. I just gotta hope that I get trend, and then this message can keep going forward. I told you I've lost subscribers since I started doing this because I ain't doing this for subscribers. I'm doing this to gain traction so them people can get help. So them people can get help. So they can get help because it's real. Because I've talked to locals. I have personal relationships. I knew it was mercenaries behind this before people even start saying, oh yeah, this must be mercenaries. I knew it was mercenaries because I know the policemen, they got to go back and they got to eventually live among the people. The policemen ain't doing this to their own people. And the headshots, is no way that they don't even got that type of training. I'm just keeping the buck with you. They ain't even got that type of training. So I'm like, I know those policemen ain't killing them with one hit of quitters like that. And then I'm looking at all the other scenarios in regards to the military that I like what that other guy said in terms of like, Samir, don't try to blame this on no foreign, malicious people. Nah, because guess what? That speaks to the weakness of your regime. You're getting sworn into office and you can't even protect your border. So stop it. So you can't make up nothing that will basically satisfy and rationalize what you're doing. You are killing your own people. You're killing your own people for for a greater agenda that's probably has something to do with you selling out your country, which it definitely has something to do with you selling out your country because own army personnel captain got on live and served as a catalyst to that nation and told them your people are selling you out and they're stealing from you and this country is going to go broke if we don't do something about it. So again, I applaud these people because so many people want to be internet gangsters. So many people want to be social media sensations and they want to be the stars, but they ain't willing to do what it takes to be the stars. Like I said, when I saw that young man on that TikTok video said, I'm probably going to die. I don't even care. We want our country back. When he said that, and then you hear the bullets going on in the background, and then he also said, why you killing us? These ain't just some young people who just causing havoc. These are people who simply want righteousness and they're being murdered for it. And for all you, again, I'm going to stay on you guys. I hope it trend. I'm telling you, somebody got to share this video. You got to share this video because for the people who are not talking about this, and you spent significant time in Tanzania. You spent significant time in East Africa. You talked about the beautiness of the people. You talked about them having a good spirit. You talked about them being people that want to help you and always being loving. You talked about how it's better in the West. Now, if it was a modeling show, if it was basically some type of beauty pageant, or it was showing Tanzania's most beautiful women, y'all would be all over it. But when they need you the most, you ain't talking. When the people need you the most, you ain't talking. When the people need you the most, you ain't talking. This message has to get outside of Tanzania. It has to get outside of East Africa. It has to be pressures put on the United Nations, the ICC, America. It has to get their attention where they can't ignore it. Because if they ignore it, all them children died in vain. And many more are gonna suffer after the fact. Don't tell me you don't care about these. Don't tell me you care about these people and you never say nothing about this stuff. And the only reason why these YouTubers are not saying anything now, Ashima Sana and Hamna Shida, that means I got respect and no problem for those who are in Tanzania right now. I get it. I understand. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. I wouldn't be doing this right now if I was in Tanzania. That just hey, listen, because if they are going into their own people houses and killing them, what you think they're gonna do to you? You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, why the hell would I be doing this with 2 views? You know what I'm saying? That is just it's the same thing when I made these videos 3 years ago. You know, I made 3 videos that are like this, and it's only one that has more than 100 views. I'm not doing that, man. Like, that's an act of futility. So again, for those who are living in Tanzania, I get why you're not talking online. And that's why I'm so proud of your big brothers, your Mkuba Kakas and Dadas over in Kenya, because they are holding the fort down. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of them, because you can't talk for yourself, and that's just what big brothers do. They talk when the little brother can't say nothing. When the little brother can't speak for himself, they are speaking for you. But what I'm saying, it needs to be more of us. And what I'm saying is that these YouTubers who have these large platforms, they need to stand up. They need to stand up, because that's the way we can get this message outside of the continent of Africa. This message is gonna be swept under the rug if it don't get outside of the continent of Africa. And that's just the reality of it. That's why those African presidents are sitting back and they playing this thing slow. If I was in the process of sharing my pages and things of that nature and I had the proper things set up, I'm just not gonna do it right now. I could show you where they're not saying anything about this. When she got elected, they congratulated her. Now the AU, the African Union, has come out and said, "Hey, you know what? We ain't rocking with this." They have came out and said that. However, the others, they haven't said anything since this, and they are just allowing this to kind of run its course. That's what they want to do, because they do not want to address this. I'm going to tell you why the African presidents don't want to address this. First and foremost, because they would do the same thing. That's the real reason why they're not really addressing it, and they just wanted to blow over. They, in fact, have done the same thing at some point in time. That's the real reason why they're not addressing it. And then, even more so, why there has to be foreign attention and light shed on this matter in a great way. It's because you the West, they ain't gonna do nothing unless their feet are put to the fire. Again, we gotta get this message out. We gotta get this message out, because if we don't get the message out, then all those innocent lives are just gonna go to waste, you know. And I tell you this, and I'm gonna say this in closing, because I'm tired of looking at one thumbs up from my other device and one person in attendance, and that's from my other device. So I say this in conclusion, is that the fact is this: if y'all let these YouTubers that you know that had established channels prior to this transpiring, and they spent significant time in the country of Tanzania, and they never spoke up for you in any shape, form, or fashion in this manner. And I'm telling you, don't take that passive stuff as speaking up. I ain't saying they gotta be loud as me. I ain't saying they gotta talk like me. You know when somebody have your back. You know when someone's coming to protect you. And what I'm simply saying, if they don't do that, don't let them back in your country. I'm telling you, treat them like you treating Diamond. Treat them like you treating those other artists. Don't let them back in your country. They don't deserve to be back in that beautiful country. If you got people who have spent significant time in Tanzania and they're not taking the time to shed light on this subject matter, Do not let them back in your country. Give those content creators hell because they're leeches. They're there when things are good, but when you need them the most, just to shine some positive attention on this, ain't nothing going to happen to them besides they lose a little money. They may lose a little. They don't. They just want to really. It ain't even about their content. They just want to be able to still come back to your country. That's why they are not airing this stuff. I'm telling you, your life is more important than me ever stepping foot back in your country. That's what I'm telling you. Just like the sister who's a Tanzanian who actually live in America now. Tanzania, Tanzania is more concerned about finding a woman who's been out of their country for years, at least 5 years, because ever since I've been going to Tanzania, she's been outside that country. They're more concerned about getting her extradited back to Tanzania and charging her retrieving than they are killing than they are finding the thugs that's killing all them children. Let that marinate. With that being said, I'm gonna get off this stream and I'm gonna just play some information and hopefully you all will be able to see what's going on. So let me see what I can do real quick. Shit. Oh, I gotta go. Manager broadcast. So I'm just gonna play a stream. I'm gonna play some more videos, some more news, some more information. I've done enough talking. Thank you for the person that's viewing. I'm about to just play some more videos, put some more information out there. If you want to share in the chat, feel free. If you're a spy, I'm giving you the middle finger. The only reason why I ain't throw it up because I don't know if you're really a spy. But I know it's people that's looking in and they have no interest in they just want to kind of see who's disseminating this information. But anyway, I'm gonna play some more information for you all so y'all can see what's going on. So we can help liberate these people. Uh, Okay. Well, listen. I'm glad you tuned in, Bongo Mama. I'm so glad you tuned in. I'm doing my best. Please share this information. Because as I've been saying, I don't know how long you've been on. I don't know if you've lost connection. You've been in and out. But the fact of the matter is simple as this. This information has to get outside of East Africa. If you're familiar with my content, I lived there for about a year and a half. I had personal relationships there. I'm be honest with you. At one point, I was gonna start a family there. So this is real. Like it's real close to me. I never knew personally of anyone trying to do me any harm there. And this is a humanity thing, you know. So thank you, Bongo Mama. You know, stay in here. I'm gonna actually play some information so you can continue to see the news. And I also ask this of you too, Bongo Mama. I don't know where you fall in terms of supporting the artists and things of that nature. But if you check out my channel, you will see that 3 years ago, I was telling the people that she was paying them to basically control narratives so she could actually basically control the information and influence the people. And all I'm simply asking you all is that if you got YouTubers who have created their brands, they've they've gained massive followings because they was going all around East Africa talking about the women and how beautiful they are and talking about how beautiful the country is and how nice the people are, but they're not taking the time to show up for y'all when y'all need them the most. Stop following them. Counsel them, as they say in this culture. Counsel them. Like, hold their feet to the fire. So again, I mean, like, I can't say that enough because I think that. is trees. That's a trees. I think that's treacherous. You know what I'm saying? Like to like how can you not talk about this subject matter and you spend so much time smiling and talking about how wonderful of a place it is and how much you love it, and but now all of a sudden you MIA, you missing in action. Man, that's messed up. That's cold hearted and whatever. So I'm gonna put this information out and I'm gonna continue to just try to play live streams and keep them on repeat as often as possible, um, so it could just gain some attention and hopefully something trends. Because again, my channel's not large, but hopefully it trends. So the people outside of East Africa and outside the continent as a whole can see this information, and once they see it, then they're able to basically continue to allow it to just blossom or take off like wildfire. Because that's the whole point. That's the whole point for me anyway. Um, I don't even know what I want to name this, so I'm just gonna name it title. I mean Tanzania. Um, and let's see. And I'm just gonna put this up here and let you guys look at this and kind of leave it at that. All right. All right. So let me actually. Let's see. I think this is what I need. Give me 1 second here. Oh, I'm streaming on here too now. Let me see what I got going on. Start recording. So what I'm doing is just working on putting up a couple videos so I could just stream and hopefully everyone can see what's needed to continue window capture. There we go. That's what I need. That's what I need. It ain't always easy doing all this on the fly, especially when you're unfamiliar. All right, so let me go here real quick. Let's see. Play this. That's what I want. Yeah, I agree, Bongo Mama. Let me pause that and reply to you. Yes, I 110% agree. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I just tried to like your comment, but I couldn't do it in real time. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. But I'm so proud of Kenya because generally, even when I would travel to Kenya, and Kenya always try to tease Tanzania and like, well, how is it in TZ? And almost like in a giggling way, they treat TZ like a little brother, as you already know. But in this case, I'm glad they're the big brother because they're doing exactly what a big brother should do, and that's step up and talk and speak up for your brother and your sister when they can't speak for themselves. So I'm so proud of Kenya now that they are saying, look, don't nobody pick on our little brother but us, and they're really stepping up to the plate in that respect. So, uh, wow. So I'm reading your comment, and you said our brothers and sisters from Kenya are working day and night to spread the news about what happened in TZ and how our broken literally all three branches of government is working against Tanzania. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But I will say this. I will say this. That I am proud of the fact that they are your military guy, the captain. I can't think of his name right now, but when that man stepped up and when he did what he did, that that really allowed the people to have the type of faith to do what they're doing. I just want these young brothers. I don't want them to die in vain. And I know, unfortunately, freedom comes at a price. I want them to figure out the best way they can go about this. Don't get it twisted. I'm all about them getting Samia out of office by any means necessary. Just like she'll do what she got to do by any means necessary. Nataka, me Kaka, the Nadadas to do what's by any means necessary. Pia, I mean, but I do want them to find a way that they can accomplish this and not suffer so much because 23,000 people, and we're talking about all these children are probably under the age of 25. I don't know the average age. We know Africa is our youngest continent on the earth, and I want them to find a way where they could do this and be more strategic about it. So yeah, I feel you. I stayed quiet for multiple days, Bongo Mama, because I didn't know I was so lost for words. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know like how to start sharing, what to share. I was just like, where do I start? How do I tackle this issue? And then, you want to make sure you're accurate with your information as much as possible. But the reason why I'm holding all other content creators accountable as well that spend significant time in Tanzania and East Africa, but Tanzania specifically, is because there's enough information that we all can touch on it now. There's enough information out there that it ain't gonna be, oh, I said something and I shouldn't have said it because it was incorrect. Nah, it's clear. It's clear what's going on. So thank you for the support. Tuka Pomoja, Kushi Kuru, Sante Sana. All right, so let me get to what Mumby was saying. And like, why is this doing this? It's tripping, bro. It's tripping. I'm going to go to a different stream now and put the information, the videos on a different stream. Thank you so much, Bongo Mamba, and anybody else that have time chimed in. And it's my pleasure to actually bring this to you all's attention to as many people as possible. And this is not just like a one and done. I'm not just doing this tonight. I'll consistently at least have videos on a loop just to basically again push the information out there so it can catch the eyes of others. So thank you again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna go to a different stream and I'm going to basically run some loops and run some information in terms of some latest press release like Dr. Mumby and just other content creators and just have it on a loop. I'm just trying to get the information to come out there, just to keep going out there. But if you want to comment before I leave, feel free. If not, I'm just gonna put a wrap on it. And like I said, I'm just gonna have information just flowing from now on. All right. We'll see you next time. Thank you.